All right. Hey, Otto. Hi. How are you? How is everyone? Jen! And Lana. Hi, guys. Oh my gosh. And Paulo. Hello. I'm sorry I'm a bit late today. I was kind of doing a bunch of stuff in the morning and then I forgot that I streamed today. You know, because it's something so new to my routine and everything. Hi, Charlotte. No, sorry, I haven't put anything on my space yet. So I'm trying to put my hands and yeah, I have stuff happening. Hey, Box of Paint, hello. I might be cooking. What are you cooking? Hey, Otto and I thought about the same thing. Oh, I can start by showing you guys something really cute. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna move the camera, so watch out for that. Oh, okay, not bad, not bad. Ginger Cat already approved. The drawings are super cute in this book. I know it's a kid's book, but I mean, kids' books have the cutest drawings. And it's just so lovely, and the cat is super expressive. It's so good. Look. Oh. It's so cute. Yeah, the proportions are so good. It's adorable. It's a really charming book anyway. So it goes through the whole alphabet with drawings of the cat. Oh, this face is so good. This is such a good face. Hey, Drab, hi. Yeah, he's a fat ginger cat with a bow tie. It's really, really cute. And every time I find like books like this, I'm always impressed because can you imagine the work that goes into making a book like that? There are so many illustrations. And they're not just like little spot illustrations, like simple stuff. It's always like not everything is like this one, which is possibly one of the simplest illustrations, but a whole library and people and the cat doing things and like all the drawings of the cat are good. There's not a single one that I went like, this one is a bit less strong. No, they're all really brilliant. So yeah, I'm very impressed. I was a bit bummed that this illustrator doesn't have other books with cats in it. But yeah, it's illustrated by Charles Santoso. Do I need to call? Oh man, I wanted to. I mean, I have the cat, I guess, since I have the book. But yeah. Oops! Bing boom, badang. I got another book from the same writer, but not the same illustrator. And while I'm really not into the topic, I think the book is still kind of cute. I wish it was more cat. Like the cat is only a small part of the images, and I'm like, no, give me more cat. Like the other book. But it's still very cute. You know, but I really like the ginger cat. Yeah, that was show and tell for today. My stuff. Scout says hi. We had to go to the vet with Scout this week. Oh, that will take years away from your life, honestly. Good grief. Oh, it was just for her allergies, so nothing bad happened. But whew. So the one thing that I think is kind of funny about the whole mess of a situation is that ever since we came back from the vet, she hasn't scratched her face off one time. I'm gonna jinx it, of course, but I keep joking that we put the fear of the vet into her. But really, we came home and she was so good about not scratching her stupid eyebrow. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting development. And it's finally healing. Now that we've paid $55 for a medicated, anyway, like greasy cream to put on her face. $55 for a tube that is smaller than a 5 milliliters of paint. Having pets is amazing. Ah. I'm glad allergy can still be bad. Yeah, really. She was mad at us for at least 2 days after the vet. Like, I couldn't pick her up on the day we came home. She was so angry. I'm glad she stopped and given it a chance. Oh, me too. It was really bad. Like, I can't really show it, but I might be able to doodle it quickly. So, if you assume that this is the cat's eye, which, to be fair, in Scout's case is more like a D, a capital D on the side, but anyway. And she had scratch off, like, this whole area here was raw. All of this was raw, like right next to the eye. And that was kind of stressful because, like, I don't want her to hurt herself in the eye by scratching that. And it's so close. But yeah, funnily enough, she stopped. What other? There was a couple of funny things at the vet. I mean, funny. They were able to, it was a new vet we were going to, one that is closer to us, so we can go on foot. She doesn't like it any better than calling up a cab, but it's a bit less stressful for us to not have to call a cab and get it all set up, because that was stressful too. But yeah, so new vet, so they were able to get the files from the previous vet, and there was a note on Scout's file that said that she's a screamer. Yeah, I can attest, she is a screamer. She's a teeny tiny cat. She weighs 4.5 kilos. But wow, she can be loud if she wants to. Not aggressive. She won't bite, she won't scratch, but she will yell. And it's not a great sound. It's quite unsettling as far as sounds go. So every time she would yell out, I could feel like Mr. E and myself getting more white hairs like popping up. Ah, she was so pissed. So pissed, so angry. She's crying for help. Yep. But the thing is we're trying to help her. That's the problem. Like, if only we could make you understand that this is for your own good. And like, we told the vet everything we knew about her at the vet, because oftentimes they have options. Like, if you tell them that your pet really doesn't like having the thermometer in the butt part of the whole exams, they will have a different thermometer, or they will take the temperature in their ear rather than in their butt. So yeah, so we gave her all the info we had, and overall, I mean, that whole vet exams was so mellow and not intrusive in any way. The only thing that, yeah, I mean, she only put the thermometer in the ear, which is not exactly intrusive either. But for everything else, for looking at her eyes, it's not like it's a light that you still keep a little distance away from the cat. Looking at the ears, same thing. Thermometer in the ear, that's not very problematic. And she was yelling so much that the vet was able to have a good look at her mouth and teeth without having to open her mouth. So it was really a very mellow exam. And for all the like listening to the heart, listening to the lungs, checking out the belly and all that, that's not exactly intrusive. That's just like palpating an animal. But yeah, try to make her understand all that. I was saying the same thing about our kitties last night. I wish my boy could understand why I'm screaming. Oh no, what's up with him? Sir, I don't want your eye to rot because you're gross. Won't stay in the basement. Oh, so you had to get the eye goop. Is it the same kind of $55 eye goop? It's got big guy, look at the last. That describes cats really well, actually. Bear's eye goop was £25 for a little tiny tube. Yeah. How do they get away with that stuff? Seriously, because all the concentrations of stuff is much lower than they would be for a human. And I can get a tube of polysporin ointment, that was the word I was looking for, ointment, for $15 if it's the big one, 10 if it's the small one. But it's like it was $55 for the smallest of tubes. Like, whoa. Dante has to get eye stuff too, but he's So much simpler than cats. He likes it now, and when I pick up the tube, he comes. Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. Also, Dante being a medium dog, the eyes are a bit bigger, so has to be easier to aim for the right spot in this case. In the States, my dog was diagnosed with heart failure, and he was prescribed the same medicine as my mom was taking, and the price difference was ridiculous for a 15 pound. And it was probably a lower concentration, and that was in the US where people drugs already cost a fortune. Yeah, it hurts. So yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster week. And what else? So, as you might know, hold on. I had a moment at the vet, and it had never crossed my mind that I could give cats their pill as hidden in something. It's tricky. I mean, you're very lucky if it works with Emmy and Bear, because a lot of cats will eat around the thing, and then you have a really gross grime slimy pill that you have to find a way to get them to eat. But I've heard that a good thing that might work is also to roll it in something fatty like butter, so it protects the tongue from the gross taste of the pill, and it slides really good down their throat as well. So I've been doing the pill jabber thing, and if it was like, nah, put it in something they like, yeah. But yeah, and then as you may already know, I have quite a few cat visitors around here, and the most common ones are a cat named Chablis, nicknamed Chaz, and also Shiro. Shiro is most of the time here. Just gotta be somewhere out there, sleeping in the shade. But yeah, so last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we didn't see any Chaz, which was, unusual, because he doesn't stay here, but he comes by at least once a day in the summer. We'll see him. He has his little cat schedule, and he knows when we're out, and we can give him treats and whatnot. So no Chaz for 3 days. When he shows up on Thursday, he's really, really slow and sluggish, and I was like, oh, okay. So we were about to go on a bike ride. So I give him treats. I give treats to Shiro as well, and we go on our bike ride. And when we come back, he's still here, but he's napping in one of the boxes we have outside for them, a nice protected area. But yeah, he's in there, and he's not moving all that much. And I tried to offer him food, and he's not interested. And it was like, oh, this is really bad. Because for a cat like Chaz to not be interested in treats, something is off. On a good regular day, I would text his humans, or take Chaz in his box and bring him over, because I know where he lives. I know where the cat lives. But thing is his humans were on holiday. So I was a bit stuck. Thankfully, they were coming home like really soon, which is possibly the only good thing about the whole situation. So he's okay now, he's with them, they're keeping an eye on him, and if his situation gets worse, he's gonna go to the vet. But yeah, it was really stressful to know that he wasn't feeling well and to not exactly know what to do about it, because, yeah. I haven't had any news on him since Friday, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So while you were there for the middle bit to give him... Yeah. I mean, I think he felt kind of safe here. I made sure he had water. I tried offering him treats. Put some treats in the water, tried to see if that would make the water appealing to make sure he doesn't get dehydrated, but no, that was just gross. We tried offering him one of those, the churu, like the disgusting paste that cats like so much, and he was not interested. That's when you know that something is off, you know. So yeah, if I get any kind of update on his situation, whether it's through text, or if I see him in a couple of days and he seems to be recovered or something, I will post about it on the Discord server. But yeah, that was stressful, and then most of you know about the sad news that happened to the community, and just the kind of week that makes you feel really old. All my chapsticks always disappear. I have a bajillion and they're always gone. There was a bit of good stuff too. Yesterday we went to get our bikes, like cycling bikes, not motorbikes, but yeah, bikes, tuned up. And instead of tuning up my very old beloved bike, I got a new bike, which I'm really excited about because it's a more modern bike. My old bike was like 25-30 years old, like a good old bike, but quite old and quite like it's more of a kid's bike. And now I have a grown-up's bike, so there's quite a few new things on there that are really interesting. So I'm looking forward to going on more bike rides, even if it's hot, because I was telling Otto, my stance on that is I much prefer to go outside and exercise and sweat when it's really hot, because at least there's a reason why I'm sweating. And when it's just like going outside in the heat and sweating just by existing, I hate that. I really hate it. So yeah, kind of a roller coaster week. I hope you guys had a bit less of a roller coaster week. And I mean, I'll count my blessings too. Like, Shiro seems to be doing fine. My cat seems to be doing okay. Most people I know seems good. They seem good. We were coming home from a bike ride this week, and we got caught in a sudden downpour, and it was really funny, because what else are we gonna do, you know? We're stuck in there, it's raining, it's one of those summer sudden showers, you know, so we were just basically soaked. It was still raining big fat droplets. Hey, Fire Cloud, hello. It was a strange week here. Work was very busy, and by the afternoon, the morning felt like months before. Oof. But we're coming into the office looking like it'd been used by a giant as a powder puff as a true highlight. I still can't figure out where it came from. Did you investigate the idea of having some sort of sparkly fabric somewhere? Where he could have like rolled around? Maybe outside? Oh no. Sorry. Sorry. Whoa. Sneezing a lot today. Thank you. We have one of those cheap metal racks with wire drawers, and he'd been sleeping on top of it, but nothing up there was glittery. And it cannot have been like the paint that's flaking off. It's mostly socks, and I would remember sparkly socks. That's so weird. I mean, one day you're gonna stumble upon a thing and connect the two, but until then, it's magic. Like we say, it's residual magic. And he didn't have clumps, it was just all over him. That's so weird. And then us. Did you have to sort of try to get him cleaned up? Because, like, were you worried about him licking the glitter? It's it. You know when you get these videos of cats that get into boxes of styrofoam. It's kind of the same energy. He did a Baywatch shake and it was mostly gone. Oh, wow, that adds to the mystery. So, not staticky enough to stay in the fur. So, probably not plastic glitter. That's why I was thinking outside, because you know sometimes how sand can get all these little mica flakes in it. So if he went and rolled around in sand, perhaps the lighter mica particles stayed on him, and the heavier sand particle, like the silica, fell down. The mystery of the glittery cat. I checked my pans of sparkly paint to see if he knocked the lid off the drying rack. My palette with sparkly paint was closed. think your theory of the sparkly bath bomb has some potential too. Hubby's watching the swimming, and I wouldn't have time to get in the water before these people have finished their races. Oh man. The Paris Olympics, right? The glitter is in bath bomb, like, for sure, but I figured it would also smell like the bath bomb. That's so funny. You really have to eventually turn that into a drawing. I think that would be a really fun way to like document that whole thing. I was in the middle of telling my bestie that the last few weeks have felt like a fever dream, just as the blue man in the opening ceremony appeared. Yeah, that helps. Doesn't sound like a comedy skit at all. Mr. E likes to watch the volleyball matches. And since we've watched all of Haikyuu, which is an anime and manga about volleyball, we can sort of see and understand what's going on, and it's really intense. But oh my gosh, these guys, most of them are so tall. Like 6'8", 6'9". You're like, what? How? How did you get to be so tall? Hubby's whole family are mid 5-footer, and then him and 2 cousins are 6'4". How? What? And then you have people who are like 5 feet tall, and it feels like the balance was off a bit. Like, give me some of that, I'll take it. You don't need to be that tall. No one does. my sister took him to a basketball game, and he was like, "Ah, look at the tall people," and she pointed out they were a foot. What? Jeez. How do people get that tall? How? Oh my gosh. They were all I6 and low 7s. 7. Wow. What? Cats. The drawing is super cute, but oh, thank you so much. I'm working on a special project. I got about, what, 4-6 drawings left to do, and then a bit of writing, and then I can share what my special project is. Ginger! Hello! How are you today? It's also helpful that YouTube notifies me of live stream over an hour into it. Well, no, only 45 minutes into it. Because I started late today. I was doing a bunch of cleaning and sorting of stuff and whatever, and then I was like, oh, I haven't eaten lunch yet, and we're Saturday, so I'm streaming. Whoops. Your notification system is hot garbage. I need to actually set an alarm in my phone. Yeah, it is hot garbage. Hey, Yuri! Hello! Sorry, I need to stretch. Why are we sketching? It's a cat buying stuff from a bazaar. Bazaar? Bazaar. Fantasy cat buying stuff at a market. Thank you so much. So, I have a question for you guys. How are you doing? It's been a very long week. I have a totally unrelated question though, is how often do you guys get delivery or get takeout, and have you noticed much of a price difference in the last few years? Okay, I'm noticing stuff is getting like really pricier, but also not just takeout, like the grocery stuff. I feel like stuff that I bought a year ago, like last holiday season, so not even a year ago, now the regular price of the same item is $2 extra, so that's like 20% more over 7 months, 8 months. Like, why? Too often, yes. Too often, yes. Every few weeks, and yes, about 30. What's up with that? Jill! Hey! Hi, Jill! I get delivery a lot more frequently, and meals are double what they cost to go get myself. Like the same meal between takeout and delivery, or between making it yourself from scratch and ordering it. Uber Eats nonsense too. Delivery fee and service fee and tip for driver and yeah. I mean, I don't use any kind of food delivery app. The only time we get actual delivery is for Domino's. And it's not that bad. Like, the fee for the delivery is $4, and then there's the tip. So it's not that bad. But also it's really practical, and it's not too pricey, and it's close enough that, like, when the pizzas are ready, they're here in like 2 minutes. It's far enough to be annoying to go pick it up yourself, but it's close enough that the delivery by car takes like 2 minutes. We don't get out a lot, maybe a couple times a year, but the food in general is getting more expensive here. I think that everything must... Yeah, that's... Like, I just... There are some things that I can understand why they would be more expensive, but there are other things that there's gotta be some sort of tax somewhere that they have to pay extra, or they're just hiking up the price because why not? A few months ago we spent around £25-40 on a takeout a few times a week. All the same places. 30. Oh, that's a lot. Yep, same meal between takeout and delivery. Whoa. Wow, the fees. Okay, some of you might remember a time before all those food delivery apps where the restaurants themselves would offer delivery, and it was never that expensive either. My groceries to cook for a week are about €70 for 2 people, but takeout, oh, that hurts. Dude, €70 for 2 people for a week, that's good. Some days it's 100% worth the upcharge. Oh, absolutely. Definitely. But, oh, it's just so painful. Hey, Gouge. Hi. Welcome. Definitely cost to cook in general has gone up. Cost to eat out has gone way up. Cost to eat out has skyrocketed. And cost to get delivery is in the stratosphere. Where we had to call people to get deliveries. Yeah, you would call the restaurant, like any kind of restaurant. And they would have, like, some of them, not all of them, but they would have their own delivery drivers that would deliver only for that restaurant. Do you guys remember that? Ours still offer delivery if you call them, and it's cheaper than the apps. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. And I'm pretty sure they make better money from that from the apps. The apps, they don't make a lot of money for the restaurants. They make a lot of money for the app people, like the ones who made the app. A pizza was €7 to order 20 years ago. Oh. They actively tried to get you to call them and not use the app. Back in the day! The local pizza shop only delivered to these 2 towns, and sometimes there was delay because driver got lost on the way. Ah, the good old days. Yeah, if your pizza wasn't there in 30 minutes, it was free. Oh no, your order was wrong. Can't do anything because you ordered. Yeah, that's true. That's also a problem. And like the the apps seem like they offer a lot of coupons, but that the fee for those coupons ultimately is paid by the restaurant, which is really not cool. The Italian restaurant we order from still does that. We have to call and their own drivers deliver it. Yeah, that's good. If you order directly, you would be on the way to fix it. I mean, that's a good incentive. The apps suck. They are awful. They are really awful. I can totally understand the apps for, I forget what it's called, but it's the app that exists so that people will do your groceries and deliver them to you. Like, I know I've seen a lot of people that have been really helped by that. People with mobility issues, people with handicaps, you know, all of that. That's great. But all the restaurant apps, they're so predatory for everyone but the people who make the app. They make bank. Oh yeah, they still want you to call directly to not pay the fees for the apps. And it's best to not pay tips through the apps but directly because the yeah, that too. We're talking about restaurants deliver something. I'm lost. Yeah, we were just talking about how it's weird how pricier all kinds of food stuff have gotten in a really, short while. Like not too long ago, prices for food, whether it was at the grocery store or delivery or, whatever, was much more affordable. And I was curious to ask people if they had a similar experience regarding that. It's great when we order pickup from the restaurant that's 500 feet up the road from us, but the app puts the order into the sister restaurant. What? Thanks, Grubhub. You have magically found a way to run. Can't you just directly call the restaurant and put your order and go like take out, go pick it up when it's ready? Yeah, we can. Okay, good. Do that sometimes, especially when I'm on the way home. I'd call and just drive by to pick it up myself. That's what I do. Whenever we get takeout, I call, I put my order, and I ask, hey, like, how long until it's ready? And then we go outside and we pick it up. Oh no, walking! Woo! I think the app feeds on people's anxiety around calling anyone directly. We didn't think we had to worry about it screwing up the restaurant, until it did that a couple of times. Yeah. Like I don't particularly enjoy calling places, but calling the restaurants for a takeout order is kind of easier to do because oftentimes I'm hungry when I get to make the call, and I find it less stressful than using their online ordering form thingies. Because I'm like, what if they don't see the order online and then I go there and it's not ready and then I have to wait in there and rather than if I call, I get to speak with the person and I can put in my order and I can ask questions and they tell me like, oh, it's gonna be anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, and I'm like, fine, we'll go take a walk and we'll pick it up. Perfect. I would be more stressed out by the apps because like you're always expecting on the delivery. You're like, oh, I have to wait. The guy's gonna be there eventually, and I don't know. It's just weird. But I'm just too old for this. Good point. That's also a known issue. There's no winning. There's absolutely no winning, except if you designed an app for food delivery. I'm always stressed out. It doesn't matter anymore, so better me. Oh, that's a good point. There are varying levels of stressful with all this stuff. Also, if you have any kind of food issues, like I prefer to call to put my orders to places where there's a lesser chance of there being surprise dairy in the food. Example, we don't get food from the Italian restaurant, even though they make great food, but like you never know if there's gonna be cheese, milk, parmesan, anything in there that is not specified in the description of the meal. Whereas if I put an order for grilled chicken at the Vietnamese place, I know there's not gonna be any dairy in there. I get the feeling the more options there are, the more widespread those anxiety get. But that might just be a feeling. I think there's a point to it. I think you're onto something. Because, I don't know, maybe that's definitely not the case for everyone, but I feel like if you don't have as many options, first of all, you don't get to choose. So that's less anxiety because you don't have to worry about choosing the right one. If there's only one, that's necessarily the right one. And then if you don't have any other way to do it, I don't know, I find that it's easier to resolve myself to doing it if that's the only way I can do it. Does that make sense? It's a bit like, when your brain switches from panic anxiety mode to there's only one solution mode and you have to do it. Example, you're on your own and the cat is sick. The cat pukes on the floor. Well, there's no one else to clean up the mess, so even if it's absolutely gross, well, your brain switches off and you just do it. And you try to figure it out. Like if it's too gross, you can wear a face mask or something. I'm just, not the best example, but I think you can sort of understand what I mean. My blood is basically pure cortisol. Things being straightforward and easy do have their advantages. Oh my gosh. That is what I call mom mode. You just switch off and get her done. Yeah, exactly. this sort of panic-induced moment of clarity. It's pure survival. You can not interrupt me when I'm in mom mode. I am laser focused and will move you out of my way. Do not talk to me. Oh, I get it. I really get it. There's always those instances, like the one thing that if you had other options you would absolutely not do, but there's no other option, so you have to do it. Might be a moment of like and then mom mode switches on and you're like, okay, let's get this done, and then forget everything about it. Like just no memories. Like when the cat manages to barf on the seam between the back and the arm of the couch. It becomes Mission Meatball, and the laser focuses on cleaning up the softness. Yep. I kind of like how all of us fully understand the mode, the switch, and it's always related to animal misses. When the horses get sick, move aside, hand me the phone, and shut up. Funny stuff will come back later. Yeah, the anxiety can come back later, you know. I expected some stuff from the cats, but they really are messy creatures. Oh, dude. Always related to cat barf. Cats barf so much. They're designed that way. Like they make fur balls that have to, you know, be extracted from their bodies in one way or another. Also, they will scoot boot quite a lot. Oh, the I mean, I don't think kids are any less messy. But I think it can be surprising just how messy animals get, because you're like, oh, they can't be that bad. Oh, famous last words. I figured they will maybe knock some plants over, scratch some stuff. Oh my gosh. Bugs of paint. No. A panic mode flow state that bodily fluids tend to induce is just remarkable. It is pure survival, honestly, because outside of that mental state, there's no way I can deal with any of that stuff. But if the mom mode is engaged, then it's a different beast altogether. Those little critters will find a way. I didn't expect one of them to prefer to the airball on my shoe. Ah, or in the sock drawer twice. No. Ah, no. My son once pooped on the couch between the back and the seat. There's a reason why Box of Paint calls it mom mode. I went away for a sec to get some water, and the doctor changed to poop. We're talking about messes and the brain's faculty to switch to what Box of Paint refers to as mom mode, which is this brain mode of being able to deal with stuff that you would never be able to otherwise. This like survival thing of like, oh, there's a mess to deal with and there's only me. I'm the only one who can do it. I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And then mum mode. Cat barf, I find, okay, because this is something that I dealt with even last night, because the cats are losing a lot of fur at this point in time, but there's a level, because it happens often in the middle of the night, so you get woken up by the telltale sounds of a cat throwing up a hairball. But once I've found the mess, if it's like on the tiles and not gonna make any kind of lasting damage to anything, I put paper towels on it and I leave it for the morning. But if they were to be sick on something like a cushion or a blanket or something, then I would have to clean it up right away. So there are like thresholds. I thought I was hearing cat meows. Must have been a kid outside. I mean, I don't mind it, but I was a bit surprised. Listen, you get over misses real quick when you have a baby and that baby suddenly explodes out of your orifice at the same time. Definitely. Well, every other adult in the house is screaming about being a mom is a feat of strength in any way possible. Oh god, that sounds like a nightmare. It does. It sounds absolutely like because outside of having to deal with it, it's absolutely nightmarish, but when it's in your face and you have to do something, oh my gosh. Yeah, kids are like that. One day we on the kitchen table and had to laugh. Yeah, it's similar, not quite the same, but it's very similar with pets. Like, you might go into it with expectations, but sooner or later those expectations will be demolished just by stuff happening. It's a bit like people who are like, oh, I don't want my cats to go on the counter, and you're like, sure, yeah, you do that. Oh, welcome back, Otto. We're talking about poop. and we're talking about having to deal with situations that are impossible to deal with unless you switch your brain to the specific mode that lets you deal with it. It's like there's no one else to take care of it now, so I have to do it. So let's switch the brain off and just deal with it, and we can have feelings about it later on. My son is 21 now. I didn't forget. He did that to me once a million years ago. The right to explain. Oh, you can go make tea, Otto. Yeah. I'm not talking about exploding babies, I promise. That's definitely the kind of thing that you never forget. Yeah, animals like the advantage of dealing with animal messes is that they tend to be smaller, just because most animals are smaller than humans. But at the same time, you can't really get your animal to understand that if they don't feel well, they should probably be in the bathroom, close to everything that you need when you don't feel well. So you might end up with more smaller messes than fewer big ones, if that makes sense. I'm trying to keep it relatively not gross. Adulting in general, I feel, requires quite often to tap into that mum mode thing, because it's not as extreme of situations, but there's always a moment when you're like, oh, I have to call the phone company because I want to shut down my plan because I'm not using the landline anymore. And it's just this tedious adulting stuff that if you don't feel you have to do it now, you're not going to do it now. Oh well, I still got a second kid, love both of them, and also my cat. Even in the summer when you decide, oh, 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 kitty. No, kitty, you can't come inside. Not now. Not right away, okay? I'd be less grumpy about it if my cat could grow thumbs and learn how to. How is Cheese, by the way? Oh, Pepper Call would always good. Oh, that's adorable. Like, oh, you're trying so you're trying so hard, Pupper. That's adorable. And he was like, I'm here. It's a good. Yeah. Okay. Is it, Yuri, is that a thing that horses cannot do? Out of curiosity? Atto is 110 pounds. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, that, yeah, okay. I see, Ginger, I see. Bucks a pint. Bucks a pint. I tell my cats many times a day, if you figure out how to make me coffee, you will be swimming in treats, but so far, no luck. It is safe, though we'll try to not talk about bodily fluids as much. Cheese is doing good. So, just curiosity, Otto. Talking about that stuff in very vague terms, like bodily fluids instead of the detailed terms for everything, is that okay, or even that is too gross? Cheese is doing good. She's grumpy because I kicked her out of my chair. It's like no other chairs exist, only mine. Oh, why do cats do that? Okay, the general terms don't bother you, it's the details. Okay. Good to know, good to know. I'll try to remember that. Scout has taken, you remind me, Jen, Scout has taken to sleeping right above my head. So if I was to, okay, this is my side of the bed. Okay, I'm a short person, obviously. So usually I have a bunch of stuffed toys here, and then my pillow, and then me. Beep. Okay, that's me. But now Scout sleeps here, so I have to push myself further down on the bed. So like my head is at the middle point of the bed. I have my feet off the bed, which never happens. I have my pillow. Here you have a cat. And then all my plushies still. And it's really funny. Crivendale Milk Company here had a video where the cats grow thumbs and they all start snapping. Oh, that's silly. Yeah, they cannot. That's why you have to have a stomachache. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had heard that colics are really bad for horses, but I didn't know about the rest of that. And yeah, I did the horseback riding a long time ago, so I know about the, what comes out the rear end. Scout makes me laugh so much. I love her. Absolute nightmare. She is, isn't she? She like, Pickle is her own cat. She does her own things. She has her quirks, but she's very, like, she manages herself. Scout is weird. She has like, she will go through phases. Like there was a phase last year where she would sleep on me. And then she stopped. And before that she would never sleep on me. Now she decided that sleeping above my head is the thing to do. And you cannot dissuade her. She will get what she wants. Like even if you try to resist, she's gonna win in the end, because how can you get the cat to understand anything? It's a cat. Oh, Jen, whenever you're able to come visit again, first of all, it's gonna be nice to see the cats again. I really took to asking them what when they meow or when they like you did, because that was so funny. And also we absolutely have to hit the 24-hour bakery place for cheapies. Sorry fam, sometimes being in the trenches, yeah, battle scars, drama, and then you find respect for bleach wipes, baby wipes, you know, poop bags are really handy to clean up messes and put everything in a poop bag and then put that in the bin. Hey Dan, hi. Colic is every horse's owner. Yeah, but I wouldn't have thought that, because you know, most I don't know, a lot of babies get colics too, but like all you hear about that is they cry because it hurts, but they get over it. So I wouldn't have figured out that it was this terrible for poor horses. Gotta talk to them like they're tiny fuzzy people. It confounds them a lot because they're like, oh, meow, meow. If any sewing friend have an idea for making a business attire sling. Forget. Wait, hold on. What? Oh, Tom does that too. Every 3 weeks or so, she finds a new spot and will only lay in that spot. And then she gets sick of it and she gets a new sphere. Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. It's so funny, like how they have fancies. Emmy hangs off of hubby half the workday. I want to try to make her something so it can actually work and not just hold her. You need to look up patterns for baby slings, or like what's it called, baby Bjorns, like the very large piece of fabric that you can wrap around yourself and it makes kind of a pouch, and then you can have a cat or a baby in there. Cheese gets a lot of, oh yeah, tell me the story. Sing me the song of your people, of your woe. Then she leaves the room and I don't get it. Oh no, Cheese. Oh, she's like, you're not taking me seriously. I'm gonna leave. Bye bye. I would love to dress Lyra up. Which is tolerated? Yeah, babies get colic. I was a colicky baby. The only thing that would work for from what my parents told me, because I was a baby, I don't remember, but apparently the only thing that worked would be to have my dad be shirtless and then put me on his like shoulder, torso, and walk around with me. So the heat of like being skin to skin, if that makes sense, that, and then walking around was the only thing that would help. But sometimes you can get lucky by putting the washing machine on and having your baby on top of it, and the shaking of the machine helps with the colics as well. I hope they don't need paraffin wax down. No. Usually it resolves itself. Oh, Dexter just will not stop. If you encourage its chattiness, it's game over. But that's adorable. I love chatty pets. That's adorable. Horses are big, so it gets difficult. Yeah, and their digestive system is really not like ours. Plus, they're on 4 legs instead of just 2, so gravity, you know. They make hoodies with basically a big kangaroo pouch. Or you can have a hoodie like back to front, so you have the hood in the front of you. Emmy is a small cat, right? Maybe she could fit down there. Probably she trusts me 100%. Aww. Human heating pad. There you go. Thank you. So yeah, apparently that was the only thing that worked. But also I was a very premature baby, so that might have contributed to issues. That was a very long time ago. I can't wait until autumn. It's mine and Leva's. I think it's everyone's favorite season. I challenge anyone to find people who prefer like summer, winter. What's wrong with you? Spring is decent, but it's kind of gross in the beginning and it's kind of smelly. Fall is, or autumn is, the best season. But I do love winter too, and spring. You guys have the best for season though. Like I would absolutely enjoy summer in Edinburgh. And winter too, because it's no extremes. It's very tame compared to here, of course. I must go out. Thank you so much for popping by, Jinja. I hope you have a good weekend. As long as it isn't storming, I love autumn. She doesn't like winter. It's too cold. I can bear summer because I'm in Edinburgh. Yeah. Yeah. Like what the kind of hottest temperatures you get, it's around 25 Celsius or so. That would be lovely. Winter is good depending on where you are. It's not most people's favorite, but my favorite time at the beach is the winter. How so? Is it because there's much less people? I know of someone that really likes the hot season. I can't remember who. Jen, are you the person I'm thinking of that really enjoys hot weather? Or am I wrong? I freeze from September to May. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Yeah, Dan, you got sunburned in Scotland. Can't be that rainy. When we have dogs, they can have a good time with no one else there. Oh, that's lovely, yeah. I can look at all the rocks I want. Oh, dude. Dude. Yep. Looking at rocks. I have quite a good selection of rocks. So I'm kind of good about putting many of them outside, like in the flower bed. But looking at rocks, I'm in. You're offering me like, hey, do you want to go to the beach this afternoon and just look at rocks? I'm in. Tom gets so fluffy in the winter, it's ridiculous. Like the cold hits and she just poofs. Oh, I'm autumn all the way. Oh yeah. I know someone who was like, oh, I really like the heat, and I'm like, You can have the one here. I don't want it. You can have it. I'd love for a proper cold winter though. Not the overcast 6 degrees and oh I would take that. You can continue biking in that weather. Oh, I would love that. I saw I don't know if you guys remember Fanta. It's a stray cat, semi-feral. Like he has his own personality, but in the winter he becomes this big floofy orange cat, and now it's summer and he looks like a short-haired cat with a mohawk. It's really funny. He seems to be doing well. I always see him like, I think he searches for Shiro so he can spend time with her, because I'm still convinced that in his mind Shiro is his best friend, and that's adorable. But yeah, I see him regularly, and he's a intact feral cat, so he's quite lean, quite skinny, even if he gets like a lot of food. But he probably is so active, like walking a lot and all of that, and getting in fights. So he's still quite skinny. But he seems to be doing well. You can always continue biking if you have enough willpower. Yeah, but sometimes it's difficult. Like, my issue is not that it's not doable, it's that you need so much extra gear just to be able to keep doing it. Like, it's not too bad here in Montreal because they do clear the snow out of the biking lanes. But yeah, if it's full of fresh snow, you cannot use your regular bike. You would need another pricey bike with big tires to get in there so you don't just cut through the snow and get stuck. You know, that kind of stuff. Whereas if it gets like closer to zero and not that many snow, you can still use your regular bike somewhat, I feel like. I can deal with the winters here, but the lack of light is not something oh no. Do you have specific like daylight light bulbs or lamps that you use in the winter? I love winter here. I love a cold, sunny winter's day. Really, I think it gets colder in England than Scotland. Yeah, everything is more extreme outside of Scotland because, like England, you get all these heat waves and weird snow and whatnot, but Otto always seems to be spared the worst of it. I used to get more snow in England than I do in Edinburgh. Obviously, the Highlands get a lot of snow. Like, are we talking like Canada levels of snow or just England? Lots of snow. We got -5 the other year. -5. That's not even cold. Sorry. We don't have any satellites. It seems to catch me off guard every single year. No, I have nowhere in the whole of UK snows. Okay. Just so I get a good frame of reference, and I don't visualize the Highlands being covered in like a couple of feet of snow. Ah, yeah, like that. When it does snow, all hell breaks loose here because nobody knows how to do it. I know it's a thing, but it will always make me laugh. Just because, not because it's inherently funny, but it's just such an alien notion when you've grown up in a country that has always had like stupid levels of snow in the winter. It used to be even more like intense than it is today because things got sufficiently warmer that it snows less, or that the snow has more opportunities to melt a bit throughout the winter. So when you get into the thick of winter, there's not this piling up of snow from the whole season. Like it has melted a bit and then snowed and then melted and snowed. So it's not the same. But I remember as a kid the way you would sometimes play outside and you would jump from a point in the snow to a different point in the snow that was... Hold on, this is going to be difficult this one. I guess I'm just going to close this because my focus is entirely gone. But, okay. Okay, so in the summer, you have the side view of a piece of, like a yard, someone's yard. And you have kind of levels like this. And then you have like grass, and here it's a little wall. Like my parents' place was a bit like that. You had these stone walls, then grass, then a bit of a stone wall, and like these tiers. But in the winter, as a kid, the snow would be just like vroom. So you don't see anything. You don't know, like if you don't remember where it's at, you don't know that here it's much thicker in snow. So let's say you play in the snow here and you're like la 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 la, and then you jump here and boof, you're in snow up to your waist. And you're like, oh shit, I'm stuck. So you try to dug yourself out, and then inevitably your winter boots, there's one of them that stays stuck in the snow, and you're like, the typical Canadian winter boot we had as kids were called sorrel boots. So they would basically have a plastic foot, and then kind of a somewhat waterproof outer here, top part, tie here, and then you would often have a wool lining inside. But what would happen, the first things is you have your foot in there. Okay, so that's the foot. And then your sock would progressively go down your foot and end up bunched up at your toes. But since you're in 70 layers of snow gear, you're not gonna fix it. Yeah, who cares? So, flashback to when you jump in the snow and are now covered in snow. Like, this is you now. These are your legs, these are your arms, and this is your head. And you're stuck in the snow. Well, eventually, when you clear yourself out of the snow, the boot stays in the snow, the sock stays in the snow, and the boot that's in the snow, and then you're barefoot. And you have one boot on, and you have to find a way to go dig out your boot that's now filling up with snow from you freeing yourself. And yeah, so that was the quintessential kid experience. I was in Canada in end of August. One day it was super hot. Next morning woke up to first. Whoa, okay, no, that's weird. That's unusual even for us. We can't deal with leaves on the train tracks in the falls. Dude, leaves in the falls are so slippery. I can understand why they would be a problem for trains. You don't want the train to get off track. It's like Mad Max Survival, but with snow in Canada. Hey, what's the... hold on, just catching up. Barefoot in -20. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to stay barefoot in -20, but that's the situation you find yourself in when that happens. And you have to scramble to dig out your stuff, try to remove the snow before it has a chance to become too wet in your boot. And then put your sock back on and your boot back on, and then try to put the leg of your winter pants over the boot, because you have to create this seal so the snow doesn't get in. You know, it's an art form. Yeah, okay, so the pencils. These are the Color Peps Oops from Maped, and I really like them because they erase well. Check that out. How impressive is that? They're a bit weak in terms of color. Like, this is kind of dark blue, and it's not really dark blue when you draw with it. But I really like that they erase so well. That's the clay mud in East Texas for me. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is with mud though is that it has a much stronger power of suction. You don't need that deep clay to have your boots stay stuck in it. I can sense you've experienced this many times. Yep. I was in Banff. I don't know, I'm not familiar with Banff, but it's still unusual to have snow in August. Perhaps if you were in the mountains, I guess that might be more of a thing that happened. But they planted trees up and down the tracks on purpose. Yeah, well, you know. Also, these are really inexpensive. You get a whole box of like 24 colors for not even $10, 10 Canadian dollars. Dutch winter as a kid is falling off your bike on the way home from school because you slipped on the wet. That's a very Dutch experience. And then you come home to split pea soup. Oh, that sounds great though. Oh, split pea soup. My aunt in Calgary usually has snow in September. Yeah, but that's fine. That's winter. That's fall. We occasionally have snow. Like it can be fall here is really chaotic. You can have days like in the fall that will go to like 30 Celsius, and then a couple of weeks later it goes below 0. So it's just chaos. Spring and fall are chaos. They're not a smooth transition. They're like up and down transition. But yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It melts quickly, but we've had snow in the fall. I've heard the state that Calgary, Banff, it's a province, gets weather like that. One season one day, a different one the next. So, hold on, I can't remember because all of these provinces in the middle, but I think it's Saskatchewan, isn't it? I don't know if Banff is in Saskatchewan. Banff. Alberta. Oh, and Calgary's in Alberta too, I think. Calgary, Alberta. I'm not familiar enough with like geography and weather, but I think, hold on. I'm just trying to see. Oh yeah, okay, so Banff is right next to mountains and Calgary is not that far, so that might be a cause of the weird weather, you know. Also heard that the summers there are a little more mild compared to the east. I mean, that sounds lovely. Over here it's just unpleasant. It can get so hot. When it's nice, it's really nice, but when it's hot, it's unbearable. And you can tell by the limited amount of what's the word I'm looking for? The device that cools the air, l'air climatisé. What is it? What is it? Anyway, very few people are equipped with those here, so it's a somewhat recent development that we need the AC. There you go. That we need ACs. We've always had heaters because it gets cold, but air conditioning, that's more recent. Yeah, air conditioner. Thank you so much. My brain was losing it. It's air climatisé in French. Jen, how I know that you're a bit not quite in the same kind of area as you were before. Did you notice any kind of difference in the weather? Or not that much? Also, living in a city versus living in a slightly less concentrated area might be a different might be something that brings in a difference in temperature, because I remember I grew up in Quebec City and now I'm in Montreal, and Montreal is a more tightly packed, a more dense area, so there's always a few degrees of difference between Quebec and Montreal, with Quebec being a bit cooler. I don't know if it's still the case because Quebec has grown immensely, but yeah. Not really. Usually if Toronto has a bigger storm, I get a part of this. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I'm glad though, because that means you don't have to re-equip yourself in all the gear for the weather. I got an AC unit last year. Yeah, it's hard to go through summer without one now. While it was perfectly doable like 30 years ago. Oh, est-ce que t'es toute fondue? Hold on, I have an idea. I'm basically on the exact opposite side of Lake Ontario, just a little further south, so we basically catch the same line of storms. Last winter was pretty mild, we got lots of snow, but not a ton of it. I mean, that's good. I'm glad it's not much warmer since you're, further south. I guess since you're kind of close to Lake Ontario in a way, that helps. I'll try to bring Scout so you can see her. Hello. Elle toute nouvelle. Okay, hold on. Oh, have a good night, Yuri. Thank you so much. I'm trying to. Okay. Can I? Okay, cool. It's a baby. It's a baby. It's a baby cat. We have two beans. Boop, boop. We have paws. We have a little face. I can't show her eyebrow because it's the other one. And I can't see chat. Hold on. Oi. Oops. It's kind of hard to. Oh, t'es toute mignonne. All right, so on this note, I will wish you all a great weekend. Oui. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's really funny. Oui. Yes, she makes those chirpy little sounds. It's so funny. Alright, so I'm gonna let her sleep because her life is so hard. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a great weekend. And totally unaware that she's broadcasting. Yeah, no, I think she knows because she's definitely a star. You're a screamer, but also a very cute kitty. Alright guys, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here today, and hopefully I'll be able to stream next weekend. And until then, bye bye. Do you want to say bye? Here, say bye with your back paw. Bye bye. Bye bye.